our next example, we would go through that checklist again. Are there any parentheses that we need to do? No, there's none of those. What about combining like terms? Okay, so if you look at this one, it's different from the other one because we have two variable terms on the left-hand side, right? So what is 2x plus 3x?
5x.
So 5x, and then just bring down the 5. The 2x and 3x are now the 5x, so we don't need to write them down. And then bring down the 4x minus 10. Okay. Now our next step would be to move the variable on one side, right? And we do need to do that. Which one would we move, the 4x or the 5x?
4x.
Move the 4, it's going to help us avoid a negative. So subtract 4x from both sides and make sure you put it under itself and under the other term that is like it. So the other one with the x. Okay, once we do that, these 4's cancel. It's gone. Bring down the negative 10. And then on the other side, we need to simplify. What's 5x minus 4x? 1x. And bring down the plus 5. Okay, that 1x, you can just write an x. You don't ever have to write the coefficient of 1 because it's understood. Just keep that in mind for later when we look at other problems. Now we're to the point where we need to add or subtract a constant. So now we need to move our constant. In this case, our constant is 5. So what will we do to both sides? Yeah, subtract 5. These cancel. 1x equals negative 15. Okay, and then our final step, since it's being multiplied by 1, we need to divide by 1. So show that you divide by 1. Does dividing by 1 change anything? No, it just isolates the x, so x equals negative 15. Okay, let's go ahead and look at that next example. Are there any parentheses that we need to use distributive property?
No.
So there were none of those. What about combining like terms? Okay, so if we look at this, we have a negative 7 and a positive 10 on the same side. They're both like terms because they're both constants. And so we would just combine them, and combine means to add. So it's negative 7 plus 10. 3. So now we have 3 plus 4m equals 15 minus 2m. Okay, now the next thing on our list is to move the variable, right? So make sure your variable's on one side. Which one will we choose to move?
2.
Okay, so we have a positive 4 and a negative 2m. The negative 2 is obviously the smaller one because it is negative. The inverse of a negative is a positive, so we just treat it like it's addition. The 2m's cancel on that side because we moved it over here, and now we've added 4 and 2, which is, so 3 plus 6m equals 15. Okay, now that we've moved our variable to one side, now we need to check to see if we need to add or subtract a constant. What are we doing, adding or subtracting at this point? Yeah, this 3 is positive, so the inverse would be a negative, so we would use it as subtraction. These cancel, and 6m equals 12. Okay, so we took care of our constant. Now we have a variable term. With a variable term, we're always going to have to multiply or divide. In this case, it's already being multiplied, so the opposite would be to. Okay, so we are going to divide by 6. And once we divide by 6, these 6's cancel, and m equals 2. So we've isolated the variable, so that is our answer. Okay, so the other side of these notes is for day 2. So right now, go ahead and go grab a scratch sheet of paper, and we're going to start on our classwork.